Those Bros Entertainment.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Those Bros. Welcome back to a kind of tips type slash tutorial video that I want to do. I'm going to start a video series about I'm going to call it The Beginner's Guide to Video Game Development. And in this series, I'm going to talk about the key points to starting making video games, as far as what I know and what's helped me in a very general sense that's not all over the place or scattered or too complicated to pick up right off the bat. So this is what this is going to be. It's not going to be very long. There's going to be a couple videos about, I'd say about 5 tips each video or something like that. So let's get down to it. This first video is going to be about the 5 basic components of video games. All video games have this structure, and that's kind of like the main point of it. The main components of the video games are story, gameplay, art, music, and there's the 5th one I've been having a little bit of trouble pinpointing down because there's so many different things that this one could be, and really I want to go into a different video about all the different things that are in these parts of video games that make it just as important. But for now, I'm going to narrow this down to extra stuff, the extra stuff. So I'm going to go over those real quick, one by one, and detail the importance of that specific thing. Okay, we're going to start off with number 1, story. Now, this is probably one of the most important. I'm not sure if it's the most important because a lot of games don't deliver on this aspect so much nowadays, but they give you a little bit of it. As far as I like video games, story mode is the most important for me, but it's all up to your individual tastes and stuff. But it is a key component because every game has it, and they utilize it. Some of them don't utilize it so well, others do. And one thing to one of the major components of storytelling is making sure that it's relatable, making sure that it has an arc, and everything has a purpose. And those are the biggest keys to a story. Let's see, the story might make them want to keep playing your game, and with a few different types of games, mostly like Telltale games or any story-based game, story is going to be what makes you want to play that game. They have relatively little gameplay mechanics, and it's very self-explanatory to pick up, and you choose what you want to do and stuff like that. Next up is gameplay. This is probably the most important aspect of the game from a player's standpoint. I would say that art is probably the most important from a developer's standpoint, but gameplay, it incorporates everything that you do that gets you immersed into the game, from using the controls to going around killing enemies and doing all of that. Gameplay is a very important aspect because it's going to make the player want to play your game, and that is invaluable. But for gameplay, things like any big open world first person shooter, that's all gameplay. Or basically most games nowadays stick to this gameplay type feel, so it's probably the most important. Now, next up is art. Like I said, from a developer standpoint, art is the most important and the hardest thing to get done for your video game. It's often understated, and a lot of people don't really care too much, other than say maybe the graphics of the game. That's a big deal to a lot of people, is the graphics, but that falls under art too. It's very important, and it is the hardest thing to do. As far as examples for art-based games, there are a few. It's harder to pinpoint them down because a lot of people don't put so much stock into their art as they do the story or the gameplay aspect of it. But games like Art Academy and stuff like that are games that are specifically made to make you do art. And on a different level, games like Final Fantasy or like these really big, super big world games where the game is about that art, the overarch, like it's about all of the aspects put together, but the art is a big one, the story is a big one, and the gameplay still a big one. So games like that are a kind of an example of art style games. As far as playing in a game, I don't know, probably third, because a lot of people just kind of like pass it by and don't really take note of how like beautiful or how interesting and stuff the art is, even though there is a group of people who spend their life doing that kind of thing, and they all want to show, they won't want to live through their dreams and do their art. It just takes so long for them, and it's very important. But yes, so that's the third. The fourth one, music. This music will get you deep into stuff, and you can tell by just our Life is Strange gameplay. You can see that I get into the music of this game. It's a Life is Strange is a story-based game. It doesn't have a whole lot of crazy gameplay mechanics. The art style is good, it's different, but it's not the most important aspect. The gameplay and the music, those two work together, and that's a big thing about video games, is like finding your key components that you want to mix and match and make them work together, and that's what your game is going to be, is finding the different components and putting them together and making them the most important aspects of your game. Music can be anything. It can be any kind of music you want, but when it comes to making the actual game and the development side of things, you want your music to match up. If it doesn't make sense to the type of game you're trying to go for, it's not going to make sense in any aspect. A lot of people are going to be like, the music didn't really match up to what I was trying to get at, and it didn't really deliver. And music is very important, because good music gets you feeling things. You start crying because the music is like, da-da-da-da, or some character dies in the story mode, and like that gets you feeling. It all comes together, you know? So keep that in mind. Music is very, very important. An example for a music-based game is stuff like Geometry Dash, or like any of them that are bumping and getting you in that feel-good type of mood. But all games really kind of use a music or a sound-based thing when they're making a game. So, and the last one is extras, and this kind of is like a miscellaneous type deal, because it can have anything from like your achievements, your extra stuff after the game is over, your collectibles and stuff like that. Like this is the everything that you can do. It's kind of also like content of your game. If you're making a short game, content is still good, because you want people to like have different reasons to play your game. Sometimes they're going to want to just play the game straight out, or they're going to want to go around and around and find all the collectibles that you've hidden, or the achievements, the little small achievements that you've got. That's a big part of gaming as well. There will be more different types of the aspects, and especially like on a more advanced level, the deeper you get into video games. But I kind of wanted to take some time to talk about the basics of video games, and a beginner's guide to video game development. So I'm gonna do a couple more of these. If you like this, if you think it's very basic and it's good for like learning purposes, give us a like, comment, and share and stuff. That really helps. And subscribe, because like I said, we're gonna keep doing this. We want to follow our dreams, and we want you to follow yours. So thanks for watching. This has been 5 beginning tips to game development and the key components. So have a good day, guys.